Alright y'all, so it is day 9 of hashtag Veda. I'm still continuing with this as I keep saying I'm going to. Today really doesn't have that much of a point as far as like any conversation topics, because I really couldn't think of any for today. Sometimes inspiration is fleeting, as many of you already know. But, seeing as this is a vlog, I don't have a lot to say about today, but today new stuff actually happened. So you already know I'm in the military, you know I'm in the Air Force, you know that I'm an engine mechanic, I work on engines. It's not as bad as people think it is, it's really not. Don't get me wrong, it's a pretty stressful job and it has its moments. Sometimes it has its ups and it has its downs, just as anything does. But today I got to do something new. I went into work, and at the beginning of the day, it was a normal day. You know, you go into work, you know, we do roll call like we always do. We figured out, you know, what day shift had done, what we were going to do for the day. We plan it out like we always do. Then we got the tools and we started to work, and it was just the normal everyday routine. And then I was told, well, they need somebody out at Flightline. So I and another guy that I work with got to go to Flightline. He's been out there before, so for him it was nothing new. But for me, it was an entirely new experience. I've never been out to the Flightline, and to date, even though I've been here for almost 2 years, I've still not had an opportunity to go to test cell, although I would quite enjoy it now. So I'm the kind of person who, when I've never done something before, for me, I can be absolutely terrified to do it. When I say absolutely terrified, I mean I get anxious about it, like really, really, really anxious, like to where like I don't want to say scared, but it's mostly anxiety. It's not really fear, so to speak. But it's just, I mean, I guess you could call it the fear of unknown. You're not used to doing it, you don't know what it is, so you don't know what it's going to be like. So you're just kind of apprehensive to do it because you've never done it before. And for me, that's a huge setback. It always has been, because I've always been one who's very, very leery of trying new things when I haven't done it before. That doesn't apply to everything, but things like work, and it's hard to explain what the categories are, but some things more than others I'm more apprehensive to do if I haven't done them before. Roller coasters. It took my grandmother, when I was 11 years old, it took her guilt tripping me to get me on a roller coaster, and she got me on the biggest roller coaster in Busch Gardens, the Griffin. Yeah, at 11 years old, when you'd never ridden a roller coaster, and then your grandma's like, okay, I guess we're going to leave because you won't ride a roller coaster. And then everybody's like, and then she's like, okay, let's go. And then everybody starts to walk away to the exit just because you wouldn't get on a roller coaster. It makes you do it. And sometimes, if you think about it, like, I'm not even mad at her about that. Like, I got over that ages ago. But the point is, sometimes you just have to get over it and do it. And I ended up doing that, by the way. We got on the Griffin, and then we stayed at the theme park, and I wanted to get on every other roller coaster after that. I got on all of them. But that's beside the point, and that's a story for another time. But I don't know, I thought it fit in. So, like I said, the point is, if you've never done something before, you should actually try to do it. You know, get into it. Just like, oh, I've never done this before, I'm kind of scared to do it, but instead of thinking about all the things that might be bad about that situation, try to think about all the things about that situation that might be good. And this kind of applies to my last video about staying positive, but in this case, it's a little more difficult, at least for me. So I can stay positive all day long, but when I'm thinking about things I've never done before, my mind runs away with all the possible negative outcomes. No, I don't want to say negative, so to speak, because it's not really a negative kind of thing. It's more of just like, I'm worried about doing it because I'm worried about what could happen. But that doesn't mean I don't think about all the good things that could happen. It's just in that exact circumstance, the not knowing about it keeps me from being more confident about doing it. And that's another thing that I was talking about when I say that I've been working on confidence. Okay, so I accidentally cut the video off. That's my bad. I should probably sit this down. This is what I use to start my video so I don't look like an idiot, where I go up to the camera, play, and then I'm awkwardly backing away like, oh, sorry about that. That was me starting the video for y'all today. No, I don't do that. So going back to what I was saying, this is actually something even I need to work on. Everybody has those things that they need to work on. But for me, getting better about not letting my anxieties run away when I'm thinking about something I've not done before is something I really need to get used to. And to be honest with you, today was probably a very good and a very eye-opening day for me, because I'd never been to Flightline, so I was really scared. I was like, well, what if I do something wrong? What if I don't do something I'm supposed to do and I get in trouble for it? Because in the military, you have rules and you have regulations, and you can get in a lot of trouble if you break those. Granted, some people are better at treading the line than other people, and some people are better at faking it so that they don't get caught. I don't know how to explain it, but it's, if you've ever been in the military, you know what I'm talking about. There's the do-gooders that they just follow the rules. The ones who you think they follow the rules, but that's just because they know what they're doing and they know how to do it without doing it, so to speak. That's beside the point. If you've not been in the military, you won't get it. I'm sorry to say that, because that makes me sound like a pompous a-hole, but I'm not, I promise. So, I got to go to the Flightline, and albeit I was really worried since I'd never done it before, it was a lot of fun. I work on F-15 jet engines, for those of you who don't know. I know I said that I work on engines, but I didn't specify. I work on turbofan engines. And so I got to go out and see F-15s and see, we got to help pull a motor from the engine, or from the aircraft, and I've never gotten to do that before. It was so cool. Just to finally, like, when you work in the back shop of an engine shop, you don't really get to see exactly what you do and how that supports the Flightline and how that supports everything else. And I won't get too much into it, because if you don't do it, if you're not in the career field, if you're not in the military, you really won't care to really know that much. But I can say that it's really eye-opening when you get to see how what you do on a day-to-day basis affects the other systems. So I work on engines with other guys in a back shop. We only touch the motor. We don't work with the aircraft. We don't fly. I am not a pilot, for those of you who think that everybody in the Air Force is a pilot. I don't condemn you for thinking that everybody in the military or in the Air Force is a pilot, but we are not. There are other jobs in the Air Force, just like there are other jobs in NASCAR other than driving a car. So, that being said, getting to see how the engine we work on is integrated in with an aircraft, how it's put in the aircraft, how it's removed, is something that's really fascinating to see if you've never gotten to see it before. Just like it's really cool to get to see an F-15 run. Like, I, for the first time, actually got to see an aircraft up and running and hear the engines going, and it's one thing to hear it from afar and to hear the F-15 soar over, which I know you got to hear him in my first video. Those were F-15s, by the way. When you heard the sound of freedom, those were F-15s. So it's a lot of fun. So if you've... Okay, I'll stop rambling about that. But the point is, if you ever are worried about doing something new, don't be. It could be a lot of fun. It could be something that you are absolutely scared to death to do, but it could end up being the most amazing experience of your life. And though this probably wasn't the most amazing experience of my life, I didn't really get to do that much on the Flightline, so it wasn't as fun, so to speak. But I still learned a lot, and I feel like I've become a much better airman just from doing it. It was worth it. And I hope that for those of you who know me, and for those of you who also are a little bit worried about doing things sometimes when you've never done them before, I hope that you can kind of get from this experience and from what I've talked about that sometimes not knowing is better, and it could lead to something even better. Just, it's always worth giving it a shot when you've never done something. It's always worth it, because you could learn so much and you could grow so much as a person. I grew a lot from live streaming. I grew from finally getting to go to the Flightline and see how what I do affects the rest of the, I don't know, flight operations, I guess you could say. And it was definitely really interesting and really cool to see. So, I'm not going to keep rambling. I figured that would be a good enough point to, you know, make this all worth it. To explain that not knowing and not doing something before isn't an excuse to let you not do it. And as far as anxieties go, that's something that actually usually aggravates my anxieties the most. Like, I don't have a huge anxiety issue anymore, I did in the past, but I've come to learn that people can grow out of anxiety. You can get better. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure that you could relapse if you stop trying. But every day is a constant day, or a brand new day to constantly change yourself and get better and try to learn new things that can actually help you to get to a better position in your life and set your future straight so that you can become more than you are today. But anyway, I think that's enough of my rambling for today. Tomorrow I'll actually have a video planned out a little bit more than I did today. But at the same time, today was a long day, so I hope y'all understand. But yeah, I will be around tomorrow, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please just let me know what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy. I'm trying to keep these a little bit shorter. I could talk for ages. Those of you who know my live streams, you know I could talk for ages. So I hope you understand, but I'm going to try to keep every video from now on being around 10 minutes, unless it's like unless I'm mixing a vlog and a topic. Because I think that's what I'm going to do until the end of Vita. I'm going to do a vlog, but at the same time I'm going to talk about a topic. And then after I'm done with hashtag Vita, which is vlog every day for August, then I'll start doing other things, not just vlogging. I might kind of talk about my day, but not so much. It'll be a little bit more about other things, like topics. I mean, don't get me wrong, if y'all ever have questions, you're welcome to ask me anything. I'm an open book. I really don't hide anything. So if you want to know anything about me, you're welcome to ask. But other than that, I will probably only be doing like topics and conversations and stuff that I hear and want to put my 2 cents in, which most of you probably don't even want my 2 cents, and if you did, you'd probably rob me for it anyway. But so, bye!